everyone. Welcome to the Journey into Outer Space program. I'm glad that you could join me today. Space is such a cool topic to study because we're always learning new things about our galaxy and about the universe. So I hope that the information and activities we share will spark your curiosity to learn a little bit more about space as well. Now, if you picked up your program supply bag from the Indian Trails Library drive-up window, you should have most of the supplies that you'll need for our activities today. I would also recommend grabbing a pen, scissors, tape or glue stick or craft glue, whatever you've got on hand, some crayons or colored pencils, and kind of an optional bonus would be if you have a white or yellow crayon or colored pencil. Want to hold on to that for our upcoming projects. And then the other optional supply would be a photo for our astronaut picture. We'll go into a little bit more detail when we get to that activity, but just to let you know, we will have the option to cut out the visor plate on our helmet template. And if you have a photo of yourself that's about 5 inches by 5 inches, you can go ahead and cut that out to match up with the visor on the helmet template, and then you can become the astronaut in our picture. So again, completely optional, but I wanted to mention that ahead of time so that you could get that ready for that activity when it comes up. All right, a last couple pieces of housekeeping. We do have our handout here that has some of the information that we just shared. It also has the Indian Trails Library KidZone email account printed down here at the bottom, which is kidzone@itpld.org. So if you do have any questions, please let me know. If you have any feedback or if you want to share a photo of the awesome thing that you made, I would love to see it. And then for our video, we will do our best to make that available for as long a time as possible. So you can follow along with me step by step. You can always pause, rewind, or fast forward if you need a little bit more time to finish something. Or you can work on the projects at your own pace. So if you want to try one of the activities today and then maybe come back to the video next week and try another project, that's totally fine. And you can always get in touch at that KidZone email address if you do need access to the video for longer than the 2 to 3 weeks that we usually have it available on our YouTube channel. All right, I think that that's everything we needed to cover before we get started. So now we're going to take a look at our mission log, and this is going to give us a rundown of all of the activities we'll try. Okay, the first thing on our mission log is our planet passport. So if you pull this out from your bag, you can take a look and see the very first page is going to be a spot for your information. So you can fill out your name, age, birth date, home planet, and you can draw a picture there. So that's where that pen is going to come in handy. We also have a map of our solar system. You can go through and label the planets that you see there. And then the rest of the pages are for fun. So you can see there's a spot where we can color or add some super cool space stickers. Now, most of the time when people have a passport, it's so they can go from one country to another, so they can visit a new place. This one's special because this is an outer space passport. So make sure that you decorate it, get all of your information in there, and then when your passport's completed, we'll be ready to take our imaginary journey into outer space. The next thing on our mission log is our story break. Now, if we were going to travel to a new place, we would want to do some research ahead of time, right? Know what to expect when we got to our destination. So we're going to read a book called Every Planet Has a Place by Becky Baines. And this is coming to us from National Geographic Kids. So this will give us a glimpse of what we might find if we traveled into outer space. Every planet has a place in space. A planet is a round object that circles a star. So we can see all of the planets in our solar system here: Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, so much bigger than all the rest, right? Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. Now this is kind of neat because now we get a different view. The planets race one by one in their rings around the sun. Everything in our solar system is in orbit around the sun. So we see the same planets in the same order: Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. But now we have the sun at the center, right? So we can see that everything is circling around the sun. The sun's a star so hot and bright, it sends us lots of heat and light. Now, I know that we usually think of the sun as being just kind of like a yellow circle, but this picture shows us just how dynamic the surface of the sun is. It's all different colors. There's so many different things going on. Definitely wouldn't want to get too close, but it is really cool to see a close-up picture, right? The sun and everything in our solar system, even us, is made of the exploded leftovers of ancient stars. We are made of old stardust. That's kind of a cool connection to everything else in the universe, right? All right, nearest the sun are 4 planet worlds made mostly out of rock. So here we have Mercury. This is the planet that's the closest to the sun. If you weigh 70 pounds on Earth, you would weigh 27 pounds on Mercury. So the gravity's a lot different on Mercury. You would be so much lighter, you probably would go bouncing all over the planet if you could visit that one, right? Venus is covered with volcanoes. Ooh, that might be a little bit more dangerous planet to visit. You put that one down at the bottom of the list, right? Here is Earth, home sweet home, we recognize that one. And then number 4 is Mars. Mars is red because it's made of iron and it's rusty. It even has a rusty pink sky. That would be pretty amazing to see. Instead of a blue sky, a pink sky. The third planet, our Earth, has just the right spot. Not too hot, not too cold. The heat and light Earth gets from the sun make it just right for life. So we're very lucky that things worked out so well for us. All right, so after we have the first 4 planets, we have the asteroid belts, mostly rocks circling the sun. And how many dwarf planets does it have? Count and you'll find just 1. So this is Ceres, which is a dwarf planet that's near the asteroid belt. There are more collisions in the asteroid belt than anywhere else in the solar system. That crashing made lots of space dust. All right, once we get past the asteroid belt, now we have 4 gas giants. Now, Jupiter, of course, is the biggest planet in the solar system. 1,300 Earths could fit inside it. That's so big, I don't even think that we can comprehend it. Massive. And then next we have Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. So let's find out a little bit more about these planets. They have wild, wild weather. The gas giants are not solid. They're clouds of gas. The clouds on Jupiter move faster than hurricane winds on Earth. And right here, this is a hurricane that has lasted for 300 years. So wow, Jupiter would be so different than Earth if we were to visit it. I don't know where we would stand, and we'd have to watch out for those wild, wild weather patterns too. Tons of moons altogether. Some moons are bigger than planets, but they are still moons because they orbit planets. So there's Triton, Titania, Mimas, and Ganymede. You can see some of those are pretty big. And enormous rings that swirl. All the gas giants have rings. Saturn's rings are made of bits of dust-covered ice. Some pieces are as small as dust, and some are bigger than houses. Now, Saturn's rings are the most famous because they're the easiest for us to see through telescopes when we observe it. And that would be pretty amazing to see up close if there's pieces of dust that are bigger than houses. What comes next? The Kuiper Belt, full of comets and rocks and 2 dwarf planets hiding like toys in a cereal box. Some comets, like Halley's, come from here. So we have Pluto and Eris, way, way out, the furthest reaches of the solar system, kind of all by themselves. Now look at this picture and see us in the Milky Way Galaxy. Our whole solar system sits here in a cloud called the local fluff, which is a really silly name that I had never heard before, but now you know. We're part of the local fluff. Our sun is just one of 4 billion stars in the galaxy, and the Milky Way Galaxy is one of billions of galaxies in outer space. It's nice to know, in our corner of space, that every planet has a place. The end. All right, so we have our passport ready. We know a little bit more about what to expect if we travel into outer space, some of the awesome things that we could see on our trip. But we need some transportation. I mean, we can't get out there just by, flapping our arms or something like that. So how would we get into outer space? We need a rocket ship, right? So the next thing that you can pull from your bag is your rocket ship magnet. Now this is a really simple project. With some crayons or colored pencils, you could decorate it and imagine just how you would want your ship to look as it blasted off from Earth into outer space. So decorate it however you'd like, and then when you're done, come back and we'll check out what's next on our mission log. Our next project is a planet wreath. We learned a little bit about the planets in our solar system from our story. So now we're going to put that knowledge to good use and create a very cool craft. So we'll start out with our ring. And this is just a paper plate that we've cut the center out of, just leaving the edges. So we have 2 options here. There's one side that's black and one that's white. It's up to you which you'd like to use for your wreath. The black side is kind of cool because this is what outer space would look like, right? It's just kind of a field of black and we can see the stars and the planets against it. But if you notice, the material is a little bit on the shiny side, which makes it harder to stick things to. So if you feel like your tape or glue isn't going to stick down on the shinier side, then you're more than welcome to flip it over and you can feel that this is a more matte side. So you can use the white side if you prefer, and then when you're done sticking all of your planets and other decorations on here, you can always color the white space if you'd rather have it appear blue or black. So we have that, and then the next piece that we're going to need is our planet template. So you can see we have the sun and then all of the other planets here: Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. So take your crayons or colored pencils and color or decorate your planets however you would like. If you feel like you want it to be very realistic, you can always use a book like Every Planet Has a Place, something else that you check out from the library, or you can also take a look online. The NASA website would have some really cool photos that you could use as a guide to what the planets actually look like, or just get creative and make your planets whatever color you would like them to be. So once we've got our planets colored, we are going to cut them out with scissors. So we have each individual planet ready to go on our wreath. The other supply that we can use for this would be our star stickers. So my suggestion is to get your planets in place first, then add your stars and decide if you'd like to add anything else. So like I said, for this, either tape or maybe craft glue would work out the best. So I'm going to start out with my sun, which I colored yellow, and I'm going to add that to the top of my wreath here. And then I am going to start putting the other planets in order. So again, this is kind of up to you to be as creative as you'd like. Do you want to have your planets be the order that they appear in the solar system around the sun? Or maybe you want to put them in size order, color order. That's really kind of up to you. So I'm going to start out with my Mercury. I'm going to put that here. And then I'll go through and add some tape to the back of my other planets. Stick those on. And then once my solar system is complete, I can finish decorating. All right, so once our planets are taped or glued down, you're more than welcome to add your star stickers, as many as you'd like, and any other decorations to your wreath. And then our final step, completely optional, would be to add some string or yarn so that you can hang your wreath. So you can either have a grown-up help you use a hole punch or a pair of scissors to make a small hole that you can thread a string through, or you can actually wrap it around your wreath this way, and then you'll be able to hang it up as a cool memory of your journey into outer space. Before we get to our next project, let's take a little break, because it's always a good idea to get up and get moving whenever we can. So I do have a couple of recommended Rocketship songs. Rocketship Run by Laurie Berkner and Rocketship by Doherty, and I'll include links to those down below in the YouTube description. So those are fantastic if you want to have a little bit of a dance break, get up and get moving. I'm going to teach you a rhyme that we can make as small or as big as we want. So we can do just a little blast off, or you can do this standing and you can make it into a really big jump, like you can touch the ceiling. So we'll get a beat going either on the table or on our lap, and we'll say, we're taking off into space in our brand new rocket. First we count and then we blast off. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Roar goes the rocket. All right, let's try that one more time. Ready? We're taking off into space in our brand new rocket. First we count and then we blast off. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Roar goes the rocket. Nice job, everyone. According to our mission log, we have one final activity to try, and that's our astronaut picture. So for this one, we are going to need our big piece of black paper. Make sure you unfold it. We'll need our astronaut helmet template, and then your envelope that's marked planets, and you should have some white and some colorful planets. There should be a rocket ship and then some die-cut stars as well. We'll also need either tape or glue stick. And then if you have your scissors to cut out your astronaut helmet, that would be awesome. And then of course, if you have that white or yellow crayon or colored pencil, that will just give you an option to add some more decoration to your picture. So that's not required, but it's cool if you have it. So the first thing I'm going to suggest is to cut out your astronaut helmet template. So we're going to cut across the bottom here, up and around, following this outside line, so that when you finish cutting it out, you have your helmet shape. So my advice is going to be, before you use any tape or glue, block some of your pieces out so you can decide exactly what you want your picture to look like. So I'm going to put my helmet over here in the corner, like my astronaut is kind of looking off to the, well, my direction, it would be the left, to see everything that's in their field of view there. So I'm going to put mine here, and then I'm going to arrange my stars and my planets kind of out here where my astronaut would be looking. You might make a different decision. You might say, I want my helmet to be up here at the top, like my astronaut's looking down, maybe at the bottom, like they're looking up, however you want to arrange it. But I would suggest starting out with that helmet, and then you can choose to use some of the colorful circles for planets, and obviously you can add more decoration to those if you would like. And then we do have some that are just plain. And of course, these are ones that you can decorate with your crayons or colored pencils as well. And then you can use the die cut stars, or if you still have some of your star stickers left over, you can add those to your picture as well. And then the last thing I am going to add, to my picture here, I am going to add my rocket ship kind of over here in the corner. Maybe this is another astronaut that's coming to visit. And I am also going to transform one of my circles into a comet. So I'm going to put the circle down, and then I am going to find my white crayon. Here it is. I'm going to use my white crayon to add a tail onto my comet. All right. So from here, once you've got everything set up the way that you like it, go ahead and glue your pieces down. And then we can make our final decision about our astronaut helmet. So you can decorate it as is, color in around the sides if you would like, and then put a face in the center, whether that's your face, somebody else's, again, maybe an animal, totally up to you. Or if you're feeling a little bit fancy today, we can cut out the section in the middle and add a photo to kind of personalize our picture a little bit more. So this would be a step that I would recommend having your grown-up help you with, because it can be a little bit tricky to cut out the inside of something. So I'm going to take my scissors, and I am going to do just a little bit of a fold in the middle here, and then make a snip. So you can see I've got a cut in the middle, and then I'm going to use that to cut out towards the edges of the visor so that I can remove that part of the template. So we're going to cut slowly and carefully. Make sure we get all the way around. Okay, so now this part in the center is completely open. We can put a picture in there. So again, this is about 5 inches by 5 inches, so you can use that as a guide for the size of the picture that you'll need. And I actually printed out a picture of my cat Feynman, because he's kind of pensively looking off into the distance. So as I match that up here, see, I'm going to say that looks good. So I'm matching up my photo on the inside of the helmet. I'm going to add a little bit of tape, but you may want to use some glue around the edges. Once you have that picture perfectly positioned, you've got your astronaut. Now, if you need to, you can always trim off some edges. And then once your picture is how you would like it, go ahead and glue or tape that down to your background. And then if you would like to keep decorating, you can use that white or yellow crayon to add some more detail into your picture. So you can add some more stars, some more planets, whatever else you think you might see on your trip. And then, ta-da! Your picture is complete. All right, my friends, I hope that you have had a fantastic time on our trip into outer space. And like I said at the beginning, I hope that the information and the projects we shared today sparked your curiosity and makes you want to learn even more about space. So I have a couple of suggestions on that front. Obviously, you can call us at the library and we are more than happy to find some super cool space books to set aside and have available to pick up at the drive-up window. I'm also going to include some links to the NASA website. They have some great videos produced by astronauts living up on the space station. So you can find out what it looks like when they go on a spacewalk, what kinds of science experiments they're performing in the space station, even how they go to the bathroom and eat their food, which of course are two very important things to know, right? So definitely check those out. Some of them are really kind of serious, some of them are a little bit more silly, but all of them are full of amazing information about what it's like to live and work in space. So again, thank you so much for joining me today. I had a lot of fun and I hope that you did too. If you do have any feedback or if you want to share one of your fantastic projects, you can always hit us up at that kidzone@itpld.org email address. And I hope that you will take a look at our calendar for January, February, March. Miss Laurie has a new program coming up that's called Magical Mystery Reader, where you get to guess who the mystery reader is and then find out if you were right at the end. And then we also have an awesome owls and a Pilkey party coming up. It's going to be a similar format to what we did today. Supplies that you can pick up at the library once you've registered, and then a video that will share all of the great activities that we have planned. So I hope that you had a really fun time. I hope that we get to see you again soon. Stay warm and stay safe, and I'll see you next time. Bye, friends.